Shadle high to you we sing. All the hills with praises ring. As a host proclaim our love for you, with faith and courage true, our colors fly. Highlanders, both young and old, have a spirit brave and bold. Friends we love and foes defy. Wave the green and gold for Shadle high. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we rushed were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that a flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
In the words of Bruce Hafferkamp, it's a great day to be a Highlander. For those of you who don't know me yet, hi, I'm Chase. I went to high school with you. I'm your student class president, and if I had the privilege to play baseball with you, you may know me as your left bench. Unfortunately, I'm not able to perform this speech live due to this global pandemic that caught the whole world off guard. Yet, this class has overcome one of the greatest challenges of our lifetime. Now we can tell our kids that we had to go to school through a pandemic. Take that, Grandpa. But in all seriousness, we made it. Whether we waited in line for 3 hours to get no frosting on our Krispy Kreme donuts or not, we made it. To quote Winston Churchill, success is stumbling from failure to failure with no loss of enthusiasm. As we trudged through the SATs, AP tests, and final, we remained optimistic towards the challenges we would face in the future. We kept our heads up, our vision clear, strived towards our goals, and look where we are now. I'm proud to be able to say I'm a part of the class of 2020. Today is our day. Wear your caps and gowns with pride, look towards the future, but never forget the past. I would like to thank a few people before I make my exit. First, Miss Gunzel for guiding me through the murky waters of my senior year. Mr. Hartsey and Mr. Windman for showing me a life without music is a life wasted. My parents for pushing me through the never-ending lows of my senioritis. Dr. LaRoche for being the spark that lit my passion for medicine, and many more I unfortunately don't have time to mention. But finally, I would like to thank the class of 2020 for persevering through it all and making it here. Thank you.
By yon bonny banks and by yon bonny place, where the sun shines bright on Loch Lomond, where me and me true love were ever wont to gae, on the bonny, bonny banks o' Loch Lomond. Oh, ye'll take the high road, and I'll take the low road, and I'll be in Scotland afore ye, but me and me true love will banks again, on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch 'Twas there that we parted in yon shady glen, on the steep, steep sides of Ben Lomond, where deep and purple hue the Highland hills we view, and the moon coming out in the gloaming. Oh, you take the high road and I'll take the low road, and I'll be in Scotland of Kylee. But me I true love and never meet again, on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond. The moon is sing and the wildflowers spring, and in sunshine not as I sing. But a broken heart again is sick on spring again, and the world knows not
Hello, everyone. It's me, Ariel, your ASB president, and here's my message for you. We are the senior class of 2020. We are part of a new generation, the ones who have lived through historically difficult times. We are recipients of high expectations and participation awards. We are the students marking a new beginning, a new chapter, and a different culture at Shadle Park. We are so much more than this, though. We are participating citizens. We are people who are going to find our own passions. We are individuals who have dreams and goals that we want to achieve. We are leaders. We stand up passionately and fight for what we believe in, because that is who we are. And while we are all these things, as an individual, who are you? I want you to take the time to know who you are. Reflect on how much you have done and changed over these years to be who you are today. And when you have recognized who you are, don't settle for being that same person the rest of your life. Challenge yourself. Have the courage to continue discovering new talents and passions and pursue those, continuing to add to this image of who you are. Believe in you, and most importantly, don't let anything in the past determine who you want to be. The future is bright for each and every one of you. Chase your dreams. Become a world changer. Become an entrepreneur. Become a teacher. Become an artist. Become a tradesman. Become a hard worker. Become whoever you want to be. And know that behind you, there will always be a community who will support you. Know that no matter what, there is always someone who will have your back. Because seniors, even when we graduate and are no longer current students at this high school, know that we will forever be Shadle Park. Thank you.
First off, I want to say how honored and thankful I am to be chosen to represent the Shadle Park class of 2020. Also, I would like to thank the families and friends who are gathered on this day to show love and support for these graduates. The first thing someone may notice about our class is that we are graduating in the year 2020. With 2020 being a perfect number and symbolizing perfect vision, it emphasizes on how special and memorable this year and class will be. Speaking on the behalf of the devastating circumstances that we are in, I know that our class will want to be remembered for what we have accomplished rather than our situation. Although we may never forget how saddening it was to get our senior year cut short, this has only made our class more unified and outspoken of these conditions. Not only has this taught us what it means to make every second count, but it has opened our perspective to see change needed within our world. It has influenced us to become the best version of ourselves as we enter this new chapter of our lives. Whether it's entering the workforce, attending college, or joining the military, this experience has motivated us to use what we have learned and inspire others. We have come together as a class to find our passion and dedication to develop a safe and secure world for all. Despite what has happened these past few months, it has not stopped us from growing into strong and independent young adults. We are more tenacious and resilient when problems approach us and are willing to stand up for what we believe in. Thank you to our teachers and staff for supporting us along the way and for pushing us to always be our best and strive for success. Thank you to our friends and family who have believed in us from the beginning and encourage us each day. I hope that one day we can look back on this and recognize that although the year 2020 wasn't so perfect, it has made us who we are today and has challenged our class to create the best possible future for ourselves and others. Once a Highlander, always a Highlander. Thank you.
Greetings and congratulations to the class of 2020. I'm honored to be here, to be the one you chose as your commencement speaker. But I think we all have to acknowledge this is a little bit weird, isn't it? It's hard to know what to say, and hard to know how to say it. There's no live audience, which disrupts my sarcastic flow, because I can't play off of you and I can't yell at you. I've been asked a bunch over the years what I think makes me a good high school teacher. I guess that means we all assume I'm good at it. And my answer has always been that I have the right mix of sarcasm and compassion. Today, because my sarcasm will be severely limited, I'm going for compassion. My son Matthew, who's also graduating this year with you, only at LC, is a talented actor, I'm biased, and has a passion for musical theater. I've learned a lot of wisdom from Broadway musicals from him, and I want to start with a reference from the show Come From Away. It's a story of the people of Gander in Newfoundland on 9/11. At an airport which usually got about 6 planes a day, at most, 38 planes filled with people from all over the world landed there and stayed for 5 days. It's a story of people who had little in common, forming a real community in the middle of crisis. Probably the last time we faced a similar crisis as the one we're facing now as a nation. As the show opens, the opening song goes like this. I'm paraphrasing a little bit for today's setting, because I think it's where we are collectively, but it also speaks to where you stand as graduates in 2020 at this moment in history. Trust me, and you'll be glad I'm not going to sing. You are here at the start of a moment on the edge of the world, where the future meets the present, here at the edge of what's possible, on an island in between there and here. Now, I didn't teach all of you in the class of 2020. I had a bunch of you as sophomores, some as juniors. So for those who had me, if you remember the allegory of the cave and the matrix, I hope you remember how I told you, I want to be a splinter in your mind driving you mad. Remember, the story of the cave is about what kind of life and what kind of future we will choose. Will we be content to watch the shadows on the wall, placed there by someone else to distract us? Or will we leave behind the world of illusion and seek truth, engagement, and connection? One is easy, and one is decidedly not easy. But one of our cultural heroes, I'm sure he's a cultural hero for many of you, said it this way, and it's also paraphrased. The time will come when you have to make a choice between what is right and what is easy. I don't think Albus Dumbledore imagined this time, but that time is now, and tomorrow, and next week, and a year from now. Remember, I asked in the classroom, I hoped that the question about would you stay in the cave or would you leave the cave becomes a kind of life question. Not one you answer for an assignment, not one you answer once and move on, but one that guides your life, and you visit it and revisit it over and over again. I want to talk for a minute about ladders. Go with me here, it makes sense, trust me. What graduation speeches often focus on is achieving, of reaching for success, of climbing to accomplish your goals. All of that is reasonable. But at this moment, the circumstances that might accompany a normal graduation have changed. And let's be honest, even under normal circumstances, this still probably would be the speech I'd give. I want to give credit for the next couple thoughts to a man named Zach Zimmerman. He's a writer and a comedian from New York. He wrote a college graduation speech for what he calls the COVID pandemic class. Today, he says, you're graduating into one of the worst recessions in a century. The future you're stepping into is more uncertain than usual, and we're in the middle of social and political upheaval because of generations of systemic inequality. Your definition of success is being challenged before your first full-time job. As you imagine climbing the ladder to achieve, to reach success, Zimmerman offers these warnings. Be careful how you define success, and be wary of ladders that are built for you. That's warning number 1. Warning number 2, ask where ladders go. Warning number 3, sometimes ladders fall down. In a very real and, frankly, sucky way, this pandemic is your commencement. It's shaken every ladder, and our country's darkest failures have been laid before you. The earthquake we're all experiencing has exposed those fault lines. Will you make solving them part of your definition of success? Will you meet this suffering with compassion? Ask where ladders go. Sometimes they fall. And as you take your next step, as you prop up your own ladder, look around, not up, and build one that helps us all climb. If it's a ladder that doesn't help all climb, take it down and put up one that does. One of the many things a lot of graduation speeches have in common is the idea that you are now the ones to lead, that the older folks like us are waiting for you to take the lead. And we say that, but often we don't mean it. This makes for a good speech, but we don't really believe it because we older folks think we're still in charge. I want to say to you today, honestly, it is you who we have been waiting for. I want to go with you into a future that is better for all of us, not just a few. And remember how often in American history, young people just like you have led the movement into a better future. In Greensboro, North Carolina, in the lunch counter sit-ins in 1960. In Birmingham, Alabama, during the Children's Crusade of 1963. The students of Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida in 2017, who demanded an end to gun violence. And in the actions of Greta Thunberg and Youth Climate Strike to demand a safe and sustainable future. And in the streets of American cities as we speak in the movement for Black lives. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said in one of his final speeches before he was murdered that, quote, the moral arc of the universe is long, but it bends toward justice, unquote. It's hard to believe that in this moment, but I want to suggest, as many others have as well, that it can bend toward justice if we pull it in that direction. And it will take many of us to do that work of bending the arc. One of my favorite writers, and one those of you who had Mrs. Farnsworth for AP Language might recognize, is Derek Jensen. He's a passionate advocate for the earth and for environmental justice. And in his book, A Language Older Than Words, he writes about what I've been trying to get at so far, only he does it much more eloquently. He lives in Northern California and spends a lot of time listening to the natural world. I think what he says applies perfectly to this moment. Several years ago, I walked into a cold January afternoon to take care of my chickens. My dogs danced at my feet. I heard in the distance the clamor of geese, then stood speechless to watch a huge V fly overhead. I opened my mouth to say something. I didn't know what it would be, and I heard my voice say 3 times, Godspeed. Suddenly, and for no reason, I burst into tears. Then I went back in the house. Walking back outside later and staring now into the empty sky, I realized that in speaking, not only had I been wishing the geese well on their journey south, but they too had been using my voice and my breath to wish me just as well on my own journey. The tears, it became clear to me, had been neither from sorrow nor joy, but from homecoming, like a sailor who has been too long at sea and who spontaneously bursts into tears on smelling land and feeling those tentative first steps on solid ground at home. I want to wrap up with one more reference from a Broadway musical, this time from the show Wicked, which is a story about Oz from the perspective of the Wicked Witch of the West. There's a song in the show called For Good, And I want to paraphrase it for you today. This is one of my final wishes for you. Like a comet pulled from orbit as it passes a sun, like a stream that meets a boulder halfway through the wood. Who can say if we've been changed for the better? But because we knew you, we have been changed for good. We are better, all of us, family, friends, staff, for having known you, and we want to travel home with you. Derek Jensen says it this way, and this is my absolute and profound wish for all of you. It is not possible to recover from atrocity and trauma in isolation. It is, in fact, precisely this isolation that induces the atrocities. If we wish to step away from the atrocities, we need merely step away from the isolation. There is a whole world waiting for us, ready to welcome us home. It has missed us as sorely as we have missed it, and it is time to return. Godspeed. Congratulations to each and every one of you. We will miss you.
Class of 2020, we want to honor you with a special graduation message and to celebrate you and your achievements. These words are dedicated to a class who will shape our world. When you look at your past,
it is a reminder of where you came from, which is a testament to who you are. Your unique experiences are the foundation on which you will build your future, our future. You are a success story. Your future is bright, so keep looking up.
Sometimes opportunities will fall in your lap. You have the knowledge to know if you should leave it or live it. No matter your position, be a bold and courageous leader. Walk in confidence.
But before you move forward, we have one last assignment for you. Be purposeful and passionate. Take your time to find your true purpose in life. Learn from the generation that came before you. You're graduating during a time of challenge and change. Our community and our world need you to think different, dream big, be original.
We celebrate you. This is the end of an amazing chapter, yet the story of you continues. Shadle Park High School, Class of 2020, I present you with evidence of your greatness, your brilliance, and your success. Your future awaits. Congratulations, felicitaciones, Jaramman.
Graduates, it is my privilege as your school principal to congratulate you on reaching this major milestone of your life. A diploma signifies your personal accomplishments in academics, activities, and athletics. Many of you have excelled at high levels of achievement, while others had roadblocks and barriers to learning, yet you persevered to complete your high school education. What is common among all of you Highlanders is the unique and historical context of your graduating year, 2020, and at times a tumultuous four-year high school experience. You endured nationwide threats of school shootings, health risks associated with an increase in vaping devices, a pandemic known as the coronavirus, which abruptly ended your senior year prematurely on March 16th, and most recently, the peaceful protests for a call to action against violence, prejudice, and racism towards people of color. Those peaceful protests were overshadowed by agitators who simply wanted to promote chaos and mayhem. You have been through a lot and sacrificed a lot. It goes without saying that your senior year was plain and simple, messed up. However, what I know for sure is that you have developed kindness, patience, and courage in the face of uncertainty and fear. As young adults, you recognize the need for honest conversations about race, humanity, and equity. You recognize that it will be your generation that rises above hatred, maliciousness, and selfishness. You will be leaders in a new order of humanity. Your voice, your wisdom, and stamina are necessary to restore our society to a more hopeful and positive environment. During the self-quarantine from COVID-19, you exercised a commitment to be mindful of family members, friends, and your community to help stave off the spread of a deadly virus. You demonstrated your love through selfless acts that often went unnoticed. You chose not to have the spotlight be about what you were missing out upon, but rather what you could do in small measures to promote health and well-being for all in our community. You have developed what I like to call an educated heart. An educated heart is one that learns and listens to others who have a different life experience. An educated heart understands that love means embracing diversity, respect, and compassion, not settling for tolerance or complacency. An educated heart takes risks, shares their vulnerabilities, and does a self-assessment of one's own biases while embracing education as a way of life. Class of 2020, you will have 2020 vision as you look back upon the spring of your senior year. This does not mean you will have perfect vision, but with the educated heart, along with a high school diploma, you will clearly see your purpose and a plan to make our world a better place. You will lead us with kindness, compassion, and acceptance for all humanity. On behalf of Shadle Park High School and the faculty, I am happy to announce that you have fulfilled all of the high school requirements established by Spokane Public Schools to graduate and accept your diploma. Congratulations.
Jameson Andrew King. Leonardo Uzil Mota. Liam James Flowers. Levi Joseph Fry. Stephen Matthew Ledeboer. Kayla Ugolini. Devin Austin Thornburg. Dustin Joseph Cathcart. Elizabeth Lynn Cathcart. Kayla Marie Brown. Joseph Michael Broadhurst. Kellen Walker Anderson. Xavier Alexander Atkins. Caleb Villanor. Gavin Kumant. Bailey K. Kate. Joshua Dionisio Campbell. Roy Herbert Ennis. Leanne Marie Clark. Luke Bergen. Kristen Rose Kaufman. Alexia Rose Apri. Hunter A.J. Brown. Okay, Anthony, see how easy that was? So second arrow, mask off. Anthony J. Brown. Emily Madison Alberry. Kellen R. Burns. Kayden Joe Bundrock. Kyle Christopher Bundrock. Ashley Elizabeth Binderim. Cameron Scott Anyan. Trinity Ann Hobart. Maggie Lynn Benjamin. Caitlin Summer Brislin. Andrew Floyd Brewer. Daniel Alexander Cherkashin. Marcus Alexander Busby. Caitlin Naomi Klein. Maddie Elizabeth Boyer. Victoria Lynn Arnold. Ames Christian Arbini. Rhys Daniel Atwood. Isabella Kira Caparelli. Kevin Michael Cons. Addison J. Carmen. Sydney Blythe Burnell. Carly K. Bachmeyer. Bradley Jeremiah Hawley. Kyle Alexander Dawkin. Devin Aaron Dial. Anthony James Crenshaw. Kobe David Haynes. Kylee Marie Fugger. Macy E. Hegelson. Ryan James Elmore. Morgan R. Cramer. Lauren E. Harley. Siva Leon Garcia. Lucille Elizabeth Cuzick. Hayden A. Erlinson. Nathan E. Erlinson. Ethan D. Ely. So, Cody.
Cody Thomas Hayes. Jackson Davis. Galen Dom. Dominic Mark Diaz. Tyson Alexander Harris. Joshua Samuel Gilbert. Mackenzie Marie Hill. Trent J. Holmes. Mya Elizabeth Daniels. Michael Higgins. Malachi Isaac Dizon. Hannah Rose Freund. Jacob Gary Davis.
Good, just kind of walk.
Lucas M. Fickner. Victoria Rose Crone. Hannah M. Hatcher. Bailey Arlene Garrett. Gracelyn M. Heminger. Colton D. Eichstadt. Kylee Morgan Greenfield. Landon A. Haas. Ariel Hall. Megan Nicole Cramer. Kiefer John McConnell. Isaac Charles Hood. Ian Lee Lockery. Christina Fung Q. Gabe E. Jacobson. Casey Sage Cowsen. Jane Coles Chase. Lillian Danielle Johnson. Tyler J. Lehman. Gage Ryan McLeese. Stewie Tempest Maldonado. Levi Nicholas Martinez. Chase William Jensen. Nicholas Page Longacre. James Andrew Lanzadell. Anastasia Isabel Love. Alfreda Johnson. Tristan Marksberry. Trevor Scott Jones. Drake A. Hoxie. Enya M. LaFrance. Hunter McDonald. Darrell D. Johnson. Aaron J. Jonkers. Jonathan McCain James. Jared Lyle McDougall. Savannah J. Kerr. Zachary Lee Krotzer. Haley Lubov Kostyanyak. Joshua James Hill. Heather Knight. Denham M. Kerr. Toby Aaron Knapp. Megan Lohr. Jordan D. McKenzie. Leviticus James Irie. Look at camera. Good job. Nicole J. Law. Destiny M. Lycia. Samantha V. Keys. Seamus John Kennedy. Tiara Rose Lee. David James Payton. Trent Michael Ripley. Kylee K. Pelosi. Jackson David Bettina. Nina Ray Parrish. Ethan Cole Omans.
Darren James Moreland. Takara Shanae Ridicha. Savannah Opop. Trinity Elizabeth Qualley. Jacob Joseph Rhys. Braden Michael Metler. Nathaniel Mesa. Tristan Lee Beckham. Andrew Henry Maelstrom. Aaron Placencia. Joel Eric Poffenroth. Luke Allen Moses. Caitlin R. Mitchell. Alfred Wallace Parker. Christian M. Norman. Tasia Grace Roberts. Ryan Matthew Niles. Caleb Joseph O'Neill. Rain Keith Miller. Jacob H. Ring. Nathan William Parker. Eric Emmanuel Myers. Whitney Roan. Bo Daniel Prouty. Nicholas Matthew Andrew Morris. Mackenzie Morlock. Olivia Caitlin Perkins. Chasen Justin Palting. Elijah Christopher Nelson. Micah Woodard. Jacob Ray Quimby. Kelsey Brooke Prochnow. Danielle Monique Santurno. Brandon J. Rauscher. Ariel Van Hook. Mackenzie Marie Stevens. Rachel Emily Sorry. Brian Thomas Soderquist Jr. Maria Michelle Rudman. Adriana M. Stone. Alicia Danae Stewart. Chloe Marie Leilani Sayas. James Rogers. Ashley Christlyn Sinclair. Jordan Rashawn Sinclair. Blake Robert Scott. Alexander Timothy Sprague. Joshua Chandler Reyna. Nate Ruben Smilari. Daphne Somke. Zach Starkey. Olivia Michelle Toby. Evan Allen Summers. Camden Craig Spear. Dylan Andrew Tutt. Parker Douglas Swanson. Coy Trong. Ethan Joshua Stalder. Eden Ashley Tanaskett. Jordan Lily Van Gelder. Andrew Strickland. Asher Sterling.
So you're going to go to the green.
Charlotte Ann Fitchnell. Afton Shook. Marissa Elaine Chopert. Elijah Thorne. Cameron Rhys Tucker. Donovan Solis. Ron M. Varner II. Darius Michael Quintero Young. Emily Jean Vareca. Buster Paul Wagner II. Mason Richard Williams. Allie Wade. Rebecca Lynn Weddle. Julia May Zozel. Jocelyn Nicole Whitney. Sebastian Woodyard. Ben Wilson. Chase Wesley Woolsey. Natalie Shea Wilson. Ariana Rashay Westby. Amid Ivazovich.